So I saw this article when I was drinking my coffee, and I don't even know if it's worth entertaining, but we're going to entertain it because that's what we do here. So AHN Fire Digital reports that there's speculation around the NBA that James Harden potentially returns to the Houston Rockets if things don't work out with the Philadelphia 76ers. So let's talk about it. Obviously, what the one thing that I think about when they say that is, well, Daryl Morey isn't in Houston anymore, and the whole thing he went to Philadelphia is because he's butt buddies with Daryl Morey. But maybe he's more butt buddies with the owner of Houston. But let's talk about it. Maybe he pulls like LeBron. He realizes his old team has all this young talent, like when they had Kyrie and Tristan Thompson, waiters. Comes back, looks at Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, and he's already playing pickup with them in the summer. So, obviously, this season, we've noticed that James Harden's lost a step, and the Sixers are still fine and all, but Tim McMahon said, you know how the league works. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of dot connecting. Hey, if things don't work out in Philly, James Harden back to Houston. Just keep an eye out for that. And James Harden's been pretty spot on for when rumors happen. Pretty spot looking. And AHN Fire Digital does a good job saying right here the 10-time All-Star going back to Houston wouldn't really make a ton of sense. He's already 33 years old. The Rockets franchise is rebuilding. The timelines don't make sense. If Harden were to go back to the Rockets, his chances of winning a ring while being a still productive player decreases immensely. But obviously, the future in Houston is seemingly looking bright. And James Harden has made his efforts to help the Sixers win a title. Besides taking a backseat to Joel Embiid, he took a pay cut this past year. Okay, it's a 2-year deal with an option in year 2. So the team, they've earned 8 wins in the last 11 games to move up the Eastern Conference playoff picture. Harden's done a good job returning from the foot injury, averaging almost 22 points a night, dishing out 11 assists, looking like a true point guard out there, changing his play style, being a facilitator. Like, I know he's been a guy who's, dished out 11 assists a night, but, like, legitimately being, like, a full-on, like, this team doesn't have a true point guard, so he has to actually be the true point guard, and he's been doing that since Brooklyn. And they won 51 games last year, finished with the 4th seed, but they lost in the second round. And the team's better. But you look at this, okay. Even if he accepts the second-year option in Houston, okay? Like, even if he did do that, let's pull up the Rockets' salary. So we assume that they're going to re-sign Jalen Green. So we got to look past this season next. So it'll be 2024 to 25. Who's under the roster? Who's under contract for the Rockets? That would be Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Jayshawn Tate, Alperen Şengün, Usman Garuba, Josh Christopher, Tari Eason, Bruno Fernando, Ty Washington, Garrison Matthews, and Dacian Nix. They have 12 guys. Throwing James Harden right there. At that point, that team should be somewhat good, right? In theory, you'd hope. And that's where I want to get your guys' opinion. If you were the Sixers, would you be afraid of this news that you're hearing? That I'm interested, okay? I'm interested due to the fact that I don't know what the best thing is right here for this team, but it does make me think like maybe the Sixer, there's more beef under the seams, and we could just be looking at this completely wrong. But that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts? I think he doesn't go this year, obviously. I think it's in 2 years. If we were to see, like, James Harden back in a Houston Rockets uniform, I think it's after he gives them this season and next season. And then at that point, I think he just goes, well, I'm not winning a championship, boys. And he just goes and tries to win a championship with Houston and with the young guys. And maybe wins another 6-man of the year there or something. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I think it's definitely an interesting thing that's going on there. And time will tell what happens. I've never been a huge. Oh man, I've never been a huge fan of James Harden. Like never. And it's nothing against him. He's just never been my cup of tea. So there's that. Bye bye.